President of the Legislative Council, Governor and Mr. Wilson, Premier, Chief Justice, state parliamentarians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Having been with you for your 150th anniversary, I am delighted and proud to be able to return to the Parliament of New South Wales in order to celebrate the occasion of your bicentenary. I will be saying more at a reception in Canberra tomorrow, but I cannot let this opportunity pass without saying a few words to mark this most important milestone. It is fascinating, I think, to reflect back to 200 years ago. And thinking about those times makes me wonder what that inaugural handful of members of the New South Wales Legislative Council would make of this Parliament today and of how this great state has progressed. Those original council members were, as I understand it, squeezed into the old government house, not far from here, and then moved into borrowed rooms in this building. From that vantage point, regardless of their optimism, it was no doubt impossible to imagine what is now the vast and vibrant state of New South Wales, which has grown and evolved alongside this legislature, alongside its legislature. To reflect on the story of this institution and this state is to see the promise and power of representative democracy. Generations of voices have been brought together for discussion and debate, grappling with each day's challenges and opportunities, holding power to account and driving meaningful change. Democratic systems must evolve, of course, to remain fit for purpose, but they are, nevertheless, essentially sound systems, as I said in this building 50 years ago. When underpinned by wisdom and good faith, democracy has, I believe, an extraordinary capacity for innovation, compromise, and adaptability, as well as stability. Moreover, strong parliamentary systems, like the one we celebrate on this special occasion, are fundamental to the democracies that serve today's diverse societies and are even more vital given the ever-changing natural, social, economic, and technological environment. Since I was here in 1974, and incidentally, I first came to Australia nearly 60 years ago, which is slightly worrying, this place and the people within it have continued to uphold strong representative traditions. To everyone who has been a part of this, I can only offer my warmest congratulations. And in the spirit of marking the passage of time, it is my great pleasure to present a small gift to the Parliament. It is, in fact, an hourglass, a speech timer, to sit in the chamber and bear witness to the Legislative Council's next chapter. So with the sands of time encouraging brevity, it just remains for me to say what a great joy it is to come to Australia for the first time as sovereign and to renew a love of this country and its people, which I have cherished for so long. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making me feel so very welcome. Thank you. You want to have a look? Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. It does work. That's good. Yes. I hope I can meet a few people. Can I?
King Charles there showing his humour. Alex, slightly worrying. He said he's been here for 60 years and, you know, we spoke about it before, didn't we, about the late Queen Elizabeth having a great sense of humour, of course, King Charles as well. Yeah,
it was a lovely moment, wasn't it? He said he had been here for the 150th anniversary of the New South Wales Legislative Council's first formation. And he got a big laugh, didn't he, when he said, I actually first came to Australia 60 years ago, and it is slightly worrying. Yeah. And then an even bigger laugh when he revealed that his gift to the council is a speech timer, an egg timer, effectively, encouraging brevity. And I think everybody that sat through various long speeches in any sort of government capacity, whether it's state or federal, could see the humour in that. Yes, let's speak to our reporter, Julia Bradley. Julia, I'm not sure how much of that you overheard, but King Charles giving a brief speech of his own that was very well received. He talked about renewing his love of this country and its people, which I have cherished for so long. And that love seems to be reflected back at the moment.
Well, listening in to those remarks from King Charles, you could well and truly hear his sense of humour on display. Great gift there to the New South Wales Legislative Council, as you said, that timer, encouraging brevity for our politicians. So a very important gift here to the Legislative Council. And also there, as you mentioned, we heard the King speaking about the importance of democracy and also how far the state of New South Wales has come. This bicentenary of the Legislative Council celebrating 200 years since it first sat. And we also know that it is the oldest legislative body in Australia. So this event today, attended by King Charles, such an important one. A lot of humour there in those remarks, really being warmly received. So we are told that King Charles will leave, though, imminently. We are waiting for him to exit New South Wales Parliament. This is just one of the official engagements for the King today. Some really warm words for Australians and for New South Wales residents just there.
And he also mentioned what a great joy it is to come to Australia as first time as a sovereign as well. He did say that there will be more of his speech tomorrow in Canberra, Julia, which I'm sure you'll be well and truly across as you have been. And again, that humour, Alex, it's just, it is great to see, isn't it? And the crowds as well. It's just so impressive. It's been such a warm welcome. It
really has, and I'd love to hear from more from Julia about the atmosphere there, because we saw earlier, and we've been showing you pictures for the last hour or so, of King Charles and Queen Camilla visiting a church for a service in North Sydney. They then got in their official cars and whizzed over the Harbour Bridge to get to the Parliament House in the centre of the city. And Jules, have you been surprised by how many people have turned out to see the royal couple?
I haven't been too surprised to see the crowds that have turned out thus far, and I do expect them to get even bigger, especially on that Tuesday when we will see the King and Queen outside the Sydney Opera House greeting royal watchers and royal fans. There is a significant crowd here outside of New South Wales Parliament. As you mentioned before, we also saw a lot of royal fans outside of Admiralty House this morning as they left, and then waiting for them at that church in North Sydney as well. Why I'm not surprised is because this is a really significant moment, as we've all been mentioning, the first time that the King has visited Australia since ascending the throne 2 years ago. But we know his fondness for Australia, his love of this country has endured for such a long time already. He was here in his younger years. He went to school in Victoria for a period of 6 months, and since then he has been back and he has enjoyed visiting Australia, and particularly Sydney. So we see a lot of Sydney-siders here today waiting to catch a glimpse of the King as he leaves New South Wales Parliament. A lot of them got their phones up already, their cameras all ready to snap a photo to get a video of the King leaving. So that will happen any moment now. We're expecting large cheers from the crowd, a lot of flags as well, so expecting those to be waved.
Yeah, there was also cheering earlier, certainly outside the church in North Sydney. Julia Bradley, our royal reporter. Thanks for now, Jules. We'll be back with you as the royal couple leave the building there.